INAudio presents Cyber Mage by Saad Z. Hossain. Read for you by Fajer Al-Kaisi. This one is for my gamers. Part 1. Prologue. Making of the Sword. The dragon pored over a pile of steel scraps. Some of them were the latest carbon steel. Some looked hundreds of years old. There were leaf springs from ancient trucks, back when vehicles burned fossil fuels and used rubber tires. The springs lasted forever, long after the trucks, owners, and goods had turned to dust. There were pieces of old knives and axe heads, handles long gone. Every so often he reached out and picked up a piece. The ones he kept he stacked carefully together. Sometimes he used an ancient hand grinder to clean off rust and dirt. He had an open pan of solvent, and he submerged the best pieces in this to effect a final cleansing. When the pile was big enough, he put the scraps in a canoe-shaped canister, fitting them together like jigsaw puzzle pieces, rotating them until he felt at peace. The canister itself was made of mild steel and would be picked apart when the final billet was forged. This was the time-honored way of making canister Damascus, which allowed the forging of a blade using disparate metals. When the canister was filled, he plugged the gaps with high-carbon steel powder and then covered the top with flux. Even though he was technically blind, his fingers moved unerringly because he could see the lines of the distortion field, the witchery physics of the Jinn world, spheres of eldritch energy all around him, far more useful in the manipulation of steel than photons bouncing against a working retina. His forge was a very simple gas-powered fire, housed in a rectangle of ceramic bricks, handmade from the clay on site. He could have heated the metal with his fingers, but the regular beat of the flames soothed him, and in any case he preferred to adhere as closely as possible to the old ways. When he was satisfied with the canister's weight and distribution, he spent a moment fiddling with the field, making sure each piece was aligned correctly so they would weld together nicely once molten. A good preparation saved a shitload of grief later on, and canister Damascus was fiddly and temperamental to begin with. Most people in his little blacksmith commune made stuff out of straight bar, either 1080 machine tool steel or the more expensive.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?